So if you saw it last night, which was a Sunday night, there was a game at Hustler Live where these internet kids, these younger kids, 20-something-year-old kids, played against Phil Hellmuth, Tom Dwan, and Alan Keating. Now, Phil has been playing poker for probably 30 years. Okay? So, in this game, in my opinion, Phil steals this guy's money. This guy goes by the name of Slime, and Phil steals this. He totally misleads this kid. He lies to this kid, and he takes his kid's money. And he has the opportunity to not do it 6 different times. He does 6 different things in this video that lead this kid to giving Phil his money. And they're all based on lies. They're all lies. They're all misleading. They're all unethical. It's ridiculous that a poker player that's supposedly the best in the world has to cheat a kid out of his money. Right now, the pot's 13 grand. Okay, there's a flop. Slime has an ace. Phil has an ace. Now, at this particular point, this guy's bet 5 grand. Phil's called, and this guy shoves.
I'm all in.
Slime moved all in.
Is there like a live 30 annotation on the screen? Yeah. I remember seeing a meme with Forsen. It says Forsen lost
all in
14
for
hands in a row.
$35,300.
Yeah, that's right now. And then the camera gets close.
Now, Phil doesn't know what to do. I'm kind of muting it out because he curses right there. So he says, I don't know what to do. And then he puts his hands on his card and he pushes them forward.
I just have no idea what to do here.
Now he's claiming that right there that he pushed his cards to Tom Dwan.
I just have no...
See that hand right there? He's claiming that he pushes the cards towards Tom. But if you watch Slime's reaction, he beats the table. He pounds the table. And that's what poker players do when they win or lose a hand.
No idea what to do here.
Show the table.
And Hellmuth just fold.
You see that? See how he went? And the announcer goes, Hellmuth just folded. Hellmuth just folded the best hand. That's what the announcer says.
I just have no idea what to do here.
Show the table.
And Hellmuth just folded the best hands.
Yeah, it's just you down a show?
Okay, so that's the first thing that's sketchy. That's number one. He looks like he's folding the hand, and this guy beats the table. Now, Phil looks at him, and he knows this kid thinks he won. And what does he do? What does he do? Watch him.
The best hands.
See his hand? His hand moves around like, show your hand. So the first thing he does is he fake folds, pushes his cards forward. The next thing he does is he tells the kid to turn your hand over. Now, if you hadn't folded, right, why would you be asking somebody to turn their hand over? Why would you be doing it? Because you're trying to rip the kid off. He doesn't know that much about poker. Okay. Now, Phil actually thinks he's beat here. Okay. Look at him. He's already given up. He's beat. Okay. He thinks he's beat. He's almost sure he's beat. Okay. But if his hand is out there and hasn't been put into the muck, which he knows because he can see it, right? And let's say the kid turns over ace queen and he is beat. He goes, well, yeah, I folded, right? Because if you notice, one thing that's happened here is Phil hasn't called, right? Phil has not called. And look at this. Even the people up here think he folded. But at this point, Phil hasn't called. Phil did not call. Okay. So Phil is in a position where he can take the hand and say, I I didn't fold. So what he's doing is he's quote unquote angling this kid. He's cheating this kid by saying, turn over your hand, right? And if the hand is ace two, I mean, ace three, ace four, ace five, any number of hands, including ace six, Phil can go, well, you know, I got ace nine, buddy. If he turns over ace queen, he goes, well, I folded, right? So Phil is putting himself in a spot where he can't lose.
Yeah, it's just you.
Down a show?
And I have ace nine, yeah.
Yeah, it's just you.
Down a show?
And I have ace nine.
Show the table.
And Hellmuth just folded the best hands.
Yeah, it's just you.
See his hand, turn it over. Turn it over so the kid turns
Down
his
a
hand
show?
And I
over.
have ace nine, yeah.
Oh my God, what did you do? You fold.
Excellent.
I didn't.
Oh, wait. I thought you folded.
No.
Did you not fold?
No, I didn't fold. I'm thinking.
Oh yeah, I didn't fold. I'm thinking. See, he gets a chance here to say, to clear everything up and go, you know what? I'm thinking, I didn't fold. You know, you have ace six, ace seven. You don't have a good hand. Let's just call this a push. We'll split, take your all in back, take your 35-3 back. We'll split what's left over. We'll split the 13K. We'll just split it. Don't worry about it. Wouldn't that have been fair? But no, Phil doesn't do that. Watch.
Did you see his hand?
He showed like ace seven or something. Or ace six.
I thought you.
See his buddies trying to cover up the hand that he put out there.
You folded.
No, he said show your hand and then he flipped it over.
God. You showed me the worst hand.
Maybe
I thought you folded.
with a deal.
Let's have a deal. I don't think you should be punished for folding your hand. All right.
See, now here's where Phil does another bad thing, another misleading thing, another lie. I don't think you should be punished for folding your hand. Guess what, Phil? The kid hasn't folded. The kid has not folded. He still has his cards. I'll show you later where his cards are right here. He hasn't folded his cards. The kid still has his cards. His cards are live. He hasn't folded, Phil. He hasn't said, I fold. He hasn't pushed his cards into the mud. He still has his hand live, and he's still all in. Now, please note, once again, Phil hasn't even called. He has no place in the world to say anything about what this kid should be doing because the kid made his move. He shoved. Now it's Phil's turn. Now it's your turn, Phil. Now you have to act. Okay. Now he folded his hand, in my opinion. Right. But even if he didn't, right now he could go, look, dude, sorry about that. You showed me your hand. You're an internet kid. It's got a lot of money that I came here to take, and I'm going to shove on you. And he could call. He could call. Phil could call with $30,000, $300. He can call. He doesn't do that. He tells the kid, you shouldn't be punished for folding your hand.
With a deal.
Let's have a deal. I don't think you should be punished for folding your hand. All right. So what kind of deal?
Phil, how the kid punished? He hasn't folded. And he wasn't thinking about folding, which you'll see in a minute. He wasn't even thinking about folding. But Phil brings up folding, like that's what you should be doing, kid. You should be folding. I'm Phil Hellmuth. You should be folding. That's what happens in these cases. The kid's all in. Phil hasn't called him. Why should he be folding? He's not folding. He's not folded.
I don't know.
And then here, the kid is obviously confused. Phil goes, what kind of deal you want to make? Kid's like, I don't even know what's going on here, man. Like, I don't know. Like, I have no idea. He's never been in this situation before, Phil. You've been in the game 30 years. Right here, you could very easily go, take your money back. We'll just run the rest of the cards out, right? Or take your money back and we'll just split the pot right now and call the hand dead. He could do either one of those things. He doesn't do either one. Watch what he does.
I guess just take your money back. Or put in 5K. Put in 5,000 fair. What do you think's fair?
5 or 10 or something.
Yeah, and then Tom Dwan comes in. Yeah, just give Phil $5,000 or $10,000. Why? Why would I give Phil $10,000? Why would I give Phil $5,000? For what? For what? He fake folded. He moved his hand to signal me to turn my hand over. And now I'm supposed to give him $5,000? Yeah, right. First of all, I would have called the floor person over. I would have called the dealer. I would have said, dealer, I need the floor person over here. I want a ruling. Did this guy fold? That's the first thing I would have done. Okay. The kid didn't do that because he's inexperienced. Okay. Watch what happens next. It gets watch.
Is a little.
I've just never seen someone show and then
We've literally
no.
done it the whole
I know. I'm just not used to
I think it
it.
was confusing that the hands were in the
I gave you a pretty good deal. All right, I call it. So next card, yeah.
See, what he does here is he goes, I call, right? In other words, like, now he's saying the all-in is off. The $35,000 is off the table, Phil. That's very, very good. I'm fine with that. Thank you. Here's my $5,000. Let's keep going. Here's my $5,000. We're playing for $5,000 now, right? Which is a fair assumption. Phil's basically saying, I'm letting you off the hook for 35. I'm only going to take 5 from you. And the kid goes, okay, take 5 from me. Let's go. See some cards.
No, you just. I gave you a pretty good deal. All right, I call it. So next card, yeah.
See, next card. Yeah. And somebody goes, no. Listen,
No, you just conceding the pot.
No.
you're just conceding the pot. Why is the kid conceding the pot? Why is the kid conceding the pot? Because Phil Hellmuth is taking his money. Phil Hellmuth is cheating the kid out of his money by telling him, you're conceding the pot. What basis is there for conceding the pot? The kid had a decent idea. I'm putting in $5,000. You're getting $5,000 from me. I know I'm behind. I'm okay with it, Phil. So the kid's being a good sport here. He's even saying, look, you don't want to call me with $35,000. I appreciate that. Here's $5,000. Plus there was $13,000 already in the pot. So that would have been an $18,000 pot, not $48,000 because a lot of this was gone. But the pot was $13,000, would have been $18,000. Phil could have won $18,000. And then Phil doesn't want to do that because now Phil would have had to put in $5,000 of his own money and he could lose. And his ego will not allow him to lose to this kid. That's why he's making all these horrible decisions, because his ego, he has absolutely zero, ethics, zero ethical behavior in this situation. None. It's all about me, my ego, me. I'm going to win. I'm going to beat this kid. I'm going to take his money any way I can. Okay. So the kid says, hey, let's run it. Keep going. $5,000. Put in your $5,000. Let's run it. Phil says, no, you're conceding the hand.
Next card, yeah. No, you're just conceding the pot.
No. What
I just folded up.
Yeah, because he's already.
And then the kid goes, I just folded up. And the guy next to him is going, yeah, you just folded up because he saw your hand.
We're only charging $5,000. I think that's generous. I don't know, whatever. I don't care.
That's a good deal.
It's all good. It's a good deal for you.
It's a good deal for you. I'm taking your $5,000. I'm taking $5,000 from you. Okay. First off, I fake folded, right? You believe me. I moved my hand to tell you to turn over your cards. You did it. Okay. So I got you there too. Then I said you had to fold when you didn't. You believed me then. Now I'm telling you have to concede the pot. That's why you're giving me $5,000 because I'm cheating you out of it, buddy. I'm taking your money.
So Phil did not fold. He did show his cards, which is totally fine in the cash game. Sly thought he folded.
See, now, if it's totally fine for Phil to show his cards, why is it not fine for this kid to show his cards? Why does he have to fold? That's what the kid next to him says. He says, well, no, you got to give up your cards because he saw them already. No, that's not true. It's not even close to true. And the bad part is the dealer's not jumping in here and stopping any of this from happening. Any of this. It gets worse. Believe it or not, it gets worse.
And a little bit of business going there.
Oh my God.
Okay, now a 6 comes down. So if they had played the hand out, right? If they had played the hand out, the kid would have won. So now Phil, right, who is basing his whole idea of concede, fold, give me the money because I have the best hand and I'm going to beat you. Now he knows that's not true. He wouldn't have beaten the kid. As a matter of fact, he would have lost almost every chip he had. He would have lost $30,000 if he had called this kid. Okay? Or he would have lost another $5,000. He would have lost another $5 grand. He would have lost money to this kid.
Lucky am I. Where do oh my
Nice fold.
fuck just happened? Oh my
he would have won.
God. No, he would have won. He made aces and sixes.
I mean, he had to hit a 6 on.
So now what could Phil do right here? Phil could go, you know what? Take your $5 grand back. Let's just split the original pot, of the 13 grand. Let's just split that up. Or he could have went, look, dude, just take all of it. You would have won anyway. Right? Or he could have said, you know what? Why don't you take the $5 grand back and I'll take the other part of the pot. How's that sound? Kid might have agreed to it. But so Phil has another chance here to make things right because now the kid has the best hand. But no, Phil doesn't do that. Takes his money.
Two cards.
It's out.
And then he forfeited his hand.
Wait, what was your guess on what you saw? You said ace what? Ace 7?
I thought it was an ace 6 or ace 7. I knew it was not. I knew I had the best hand.
See, I knew I had the best hand, but he was going to fold. He knew he had the best hand after he got the kid to turn his hand over. He knew he had the best hand after he saw ace 6. He didn't have the best hand. He didn't think he had the best hand before that from the look on his face. Not even close. Not even close. Right here, he does not know he has the best hand. Guaranteed he doesn't know he has the best hand. Look at him. You think that's the face of somebody who knows they have the best hand? Of course not.
I just have no idea what to do here.
See, I have the best hand. I have the best hand, but I have no idea what to do. Well, when you have the best hand, Phil, you call immediately. If Phil had ace 8, 2 pair, he would have called immediately. If Phil had ace king, ace queen, he would have called immediately. He knows he doesn't have the best hand. He knows this kid could have a better hand than him. He knows that. But later on, he says, oh, yeah, I knew I had the best hand. Yeah, after you cheated the kid.
Show the table.
And Hellmuth,
See the fake fold. Everybody thinks he's folded. Kid thinks he's folded. He says, I win.
just folded the best hands.
Yes.
Phil says, turn your cards over, even though Phil is still thinking about it. So by his own words, I'm still thinking about it. So he's still thinking about it. He wants to see the kid's cards so he can make a decision what to do next.
You down a show?
And he still hasn't called. By the way, Phil still is not even eligible for the 35,000 because he hasn't even called it. He's not eligible to win any of this because he hasn't even called yet. So he's doing all this stuff right here to this kid without ever getting in the pot.
I have ace 9, yeah.
Oh my God, what'd you do? You fold.
Excellent.
I didn't.
Oh, wait, I thought you folded.
No.
Did you not fold?
No, I didn't fold.
he
I'm
showed-
thinking.
Did you see his hand?
He showed like ace 7 or something. Or ace 6.
I thought you folded.
No, he said show your hand and then he flipped it over.
God.
You showed me the worst hand.
Phil, maybe
I thought you
come
folded.
up with a deal. Yeah,
Let's have a
He
deal.
shouldn't be punished for that.
I don't think you should be punished for folding your hand. All right.
Then he lies and says, I don't think you should be punished for folding your hand when the kid hadn't folded. Where did the kid fold? This guy has been playing poker for 30 years. How does he think this kid has folded? The kid did the same thing he did and turned his hand over. And he turned his hand over because Phil prompted him to. Kid hasn't folded.
So what kind of deal?
I don't know.
I guess just take your money back. Or put in 5K.
Yeah, put in 5.
Put in 5,000 fair. What do you think's fair? 5?
5 or 10 or something.
That is a little unlucky.
I've just never seen someone show and then.
We've literally
No.
the whole
I know. I'm just not used to
I think it
it.
was confusing that the hands were in
That's a good deal if you call it doing really
I gave you a pretty good deal.
All right,
I gave you a pretty good deal. Here he calls.
call it. So next card, yeah.
No, you just
Oh, now it's my
conceding the
action.
pot.
No, you're just conceding the pot. So here's another opportunity Phil has. And he's cheating the kid. No, you're conceding the pot. That's what you're doing. We're not playing anymore. I won with ace 9. Hands over. How's the hand over? Kid hasn't folded. Kid hasn't mucked his hand. Phil hasn't mucked his hand. How's the hand over? The hand is not over, Phil. You haven't even called the kid.
No. What
I
happened?
just
You
folded.
The kid can't fold here. It's Phil's turn to act. It's Phil's turn to act. The kid cannot fold here. If he folded, he would be folding out of turn. He would be out of turn and the dealer could return his cards and go, no, you're folding out of turn. Wait your turn. It's his turn to act. And Phil never calls the kid.
Yeah, because he's already seen it.
Oh, thank you.
We're only charging you 5K. I think that's.
And then Phil says, we're only charging you 5K. So there's a multitude of times in here where Phil Number one, he fake folds. Number two, he makes a hand motion for the kid to turn his cards over so he can see them. Number three, he tells the kid, oh, you shouldn't be punished for folding when the kid hasn't folded. Number four, he tells him, you're just conceding the hand. We're not playing it. Number five, he sees that the hand is not the best hand at the end, and he doesn't give the kid his money back. You know, he's cheated this kid out of his money. He has 100% cheated this kid of his money. Despicable.